Well, I would say well to begin with. For the past, I'd say 2 years or so now, I've had information come to me from a guy called Louie B. And this guy was the guy who found out that, Luke Rudkowski was pretty much flat out stealing funds and basically misappropriating them for his own ends. And it's all there in black and white. And yet, for some reason, beyond me, this guy is not a pariah in the truth movement, or shall I say the no movement, because they haven't moved at all. We'll get to that later. But any other organisation, if this had happened, this guy would not be allowed to associate with them at all on any level. So that's just one of my problems with WeAreChange. Practically that they still use Luke and they think that he's still some kind of hero because he does citizen journalism, and very poorly at that. Again, I've yet to see him have a major news story on his hands, bar basically a conspiracy theory, or basically evidence because he says so. And you get to a point where it's just like, this guy has done nothing except damage the entire reputation, not that other people have done as equally as well to help damage it. Sort as, starting a fight with a girl in a wheelchair because she decided to question your logic. Yes, that did happen. Look it up. So, my next question is even after then, I went on their website to find out if they'd sort of done anything to alleviate the money situation. If I, give my money to them, where does it go? What does it do? And quite frankly, they're exactly like the People's Voice. As far as they're concerned, you have no right to know where our money goes, where we spend it, or how we spend it. So, okay, I was in the estimation, and from the thoughts that you've given out as an organisation, that you run as a charity. However, that is not the case. WeAreChange is actually a limited company with shares and everything. So, that's the next point. They now have basically no obligation to show any financial records, and indeed, they have never shown any financial records. Because remember, when the whole thing about Luke Rudkowski came out, they never went out and released their own records to prove that the evidence coming against them was wrong. They never, even after he'd been gone, shown that there were records that, this didn't happen, or that all the money he used had been put back. There's a glaring, obvious truth here when you look at WeAreChange and the People's Voice, and the fact is that these aren't any way, helping any cause, not that they were in the first place. These are just people sitting at the top of a pedestal, asking for money, and doing nothing to deserve it at the end of the day. The content that, Luke and the People's Voice put out could be put out for free. And, heck, monetize it. Take some money from the man, Google will give you money for, having good YouTube videos and getting a certain number of views. So, please people, stop donating to these people, because, you know, in the UK, the People's Voice should clearly prove to you that you should not give money to these people. And if you're in America, not only should the People's Voice be a perfect example to you as to why you should not give money to these types of people, but also WeAreChange, again, you should not give money to these types of people, because you don't know where it's going, there's no accountability, and quite frankly, at the end of the day, you're being scammed. And as I've said in the past before, if I was a more dishonest person, I would have set myself up as a conspiracy truther, so to say, and given out conspiracy facts. And basically, again, I do work in the media, and again, I can do a lot better than this. So I could easily do that and just basically ask people for money. And I'm not going to lie, people would give me money hand over fist, and it would be embarrassing. It really would.